Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the channel. And today we're doing something a little bit different. We are going to be reacting to the new Starfield trailer that just came out. I guess it's not really a trailer, it's more like a dev update, but the new June update just came out. A bunch of new stuff, new missions, all sorts of cool stuff. Obviously, we're going to get right into it. And after that, we'll probably check out the Shattered Space trailer as well. So without further ado,
Hi, I'm Jess Finster, Community Director at Bethesda, and I'm here again at Bethesda Game Studios to talk to the team about the latest update.
let's see what they got.
There's some pretty major changes in this update. What are some of the biggest new features players have to look forward to?
We're introducing a new mission structure with the Trackers Alliance. It's a group that we wanted to expand on. It gives us a chance to really see what they're about. And with the player as a bounty hunter, we can do some unique missions. In the first mission, there's a mysterious tracker that starts to show up in the settlements around the settled systems.
I'm from the Trackers Alliance. We have a proposal for you.
They'll invite you to their headquarters back in Aquila for sort of a trial mission to see if you have what it takes to be in the Trackers Alliance.
Okay, so Aquila is where you first meet, well, I guess you meet Sam Coe back at the Constellation base, but that's basically where his whole storyline and stuff kind of starts off. Is in Aquila, you get to meet his dad and all that kind of thing. You find out where the location of one of the artifacts is, etc., etc. I won't give away too much. There is an interesting little storyline that you can run along there with Sam Coe, and he's one of my more favorite characters, I think, out of the cast. He kind of comes off as a little bit cheeky, but at the same time, he's more grounded, I think, than a lot of the comedic characters that are in the game. They did a really good job with him. He definitely embodies that, witty, gunslinging cowboy type. Very well done. But it's pretty cool that we're going to be heading back to Aquila. It gives us, one more reason to head back to that planet.
You've decided to entertain our offer. Good.
In that mission, you're after somebody who's been known to steal starships. You'll go to their chop shop, you'll get to explore the location, you'll pick up some great loot.
Oh, now that is cool. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. That's a pretty cool suit. I can okay, all right. I can get behind it. You're warming me up now, Bethesda. Let's go.
We are periodically planning on adding new Trackers Alliance missions via the Creations platform. There should be a new mission there right now. In that mission, you're tracking down a former
All right, so this is something that I had heard a rumor about a little while back. I wasn't sure if they were actually going to do this. It is a little disappointing to hear that, this new mission line that you can go on, this new bounty hunter thing. Really cool idea. I love the idea of it. However, the fact that you actually have to purchase missions from the creations menu is kind of disappointing. It's like, I already gave you $70 for the game, $80, whatever, for the game. I kind of expect the content to just be there. When you release a new update with a new bounty hunter mission line, it's like I'm expecting a half a dozen missions or so, at least. Whereas it seems like they've just kind of threw a free one out there to hook you in and get you interested in it. And after that, I guess they're just going to expect you to buy coins so that you can purchase new missions from the creations menu, which I'm not as big a fan of. I've never been a big fan of the way Bethesda does a lot of their creation stuff. I get it for the private creators, like players and stuff, and they create new stuff. And then they can put it on the creation menu and have people buy their creations, and they get a couple of bucks for it. That's really cool. I think that's great, the way the community can kind of support each other and put out new content and stuff like that. But unless they're going to put in an editor of some kind that allows you to create your own bounty hunter missions and everything like that with special rewards and whatever else, I have a funny feeling that this probably isn't going to be as popular as they're hoping, just because you're locking a large portion of the content behind a paywall.
sniper of the 1st Cavalry. So you got to find them and then, resolve that situation and get some loot at the end of that as well. Sort of continuing with the Trackers Alliance theme, we've added a bounty scanner system. So as you're walking around, you can bring up your scanner and look at characters around the cities. You can confront them and maybe persuade them to a peaceful resolution.
Let's just go back here for a second. I just saw. Right, so with their new bounty tracker system, apparently you're going to be able to like go around different planets and stuff like that when you're running around the cities, and you can scan different people and whatnot, and they will pop up these little info dumps with a bunch of information on them, whatever it is they might be wanted for. This is kind of a neat idea. Again, this is more so what I was expecting from Bethesda when they came out with or when they started talking about the bounty tracking and all that kind of stuff. This is more so what I was expecting. A progression of, just everyday gameplay stuff, right? You're taking your usual running around, talking to people, scanning and all that, your normal game loop, and expanding it a little bit more. This I'm a bigger fan of than the whole creation system. But at the same time, it's like really how much runway are you actually going to get out of this? How often are you going to come across bounties and situations where you talk to certain people and stuff, and you start getting repeating dialogue, you start getting multiple people who have similar backstories and similar issues and similar ways of solving the whole bounty situation, whether you want to fight them or convince them to give up. It could be good, it could be crap. We're just gonna have to kind of wait and see.
You can confront them and maybe persuade them to a peaceful resolution, or maybe things escalate.
You must have gotten some bad information. I haven't done anything.
Oh my God. Oh, that mouth tracking is just it's something that they've always struggled with. Every Bethesda game has had horrible mouth tracking when it comes to dialogue, and this is no different. You're gonna watch this again.
Persuade them
it's
to
really
a peaceful
bad.
resolution, or maybe things escalate.
You must have gotten some bad information. I haven't done anything.
One of the
yeah, I love Bethesda games, I really do. But at some point, they gotta get that. They gotta get that handled. That it's so bad.
other things that we're adding is the ability to craft ammunition. It's been a big request from the community.
Oh, finally. Yes, please. Thank you, devs. There's nothing more irritating than having to hit every little location and section and hope and pray that you might find some ammo here and there, or constantly have to keep buying it from the store, which, is even more frustrating because you pay an arm and a leg for ammo. It's just one of those things that's really not all that plentiful. So being able to craft your own, very, very cool. I like this idea. Kind of gives you a little more freedom on the types of weapons and stuff you can use. Because more often than not, I find myself, just being stuck with, Havoc or one of those, like the starting rifles, because, well, I've got, 1,000 rounds for it that I've collected throughout all the missions and stuff like that. But, one of the laser rifles or something like that, you don't have a whole lot of ammo for it. So you're kind of limited on where and when you can use it. Now that does create some good tactical combat. You have to be a little bit more creative with your approaches to combat when you are limited on the types of ammo that you have. But at the same time, I feel like you don't find enough out in the world to make that tactical switch of using certain weapons here and there worth it. 9 times out of 10, what I usually end up doing is I'll end up selling off whatever weapons I have very little ammo for, and I'll just stockpile that ammo until I have enough of it that I can find, a rare weapon or something that uses that ammo type, and then I'll just use that weapon until I run out of ammo for it, and then switch back to my Havoc again, or one of the other, starting rifles or, items guns that I have lots of ammo for. So this is really cool. I like this addition. Really smart idea. 10 out of 10.
be. You can go to a research station, research the types of ammo you like, and then go to a bench and craft those as well. We did improve melee as well. We added different tiers of melee weapons to the game. So as you're running around, you'll see weapons of increasing damage. And not just that, but melee crafting as well. So after you find those...
Oh, finally, my melee builds are actually going to be viable now. The way it was before, you'd be running through the world and, level 30 or something like that, and you come across a blade of some kind. Oh, that looks really cool. I want a new melee weapon, and you pick it up, and it's the exact same stats as the blade that you found, at the start tutorial mission. So seeing that they are expanding melee weapons and the stats and everything, leveling, especially with the crafting components and everything like that, it adds, once again, it's adding more creativity, it's adding more tactics to the combat, and that's what we want. We want to have more ways to deal with the situations that we're in. This is always a good thing. It's always better than not having those options.
More powerful weapons, you can take them to a workbench and make them even more powerful.
I want to dig in a little bit more about creations. And Tom, I know you're the expert on creations.
Thank you.
So for those that aren't familiar with creations platform in Skyrim, what are creations and what do our Starfield players have to look forward to?
Good question. So creations in Skyrim are essentially where ourselves, Bethesda Game Studios, and our community add new content to the game, and where players can find things to continually grow their experiences in Skyrim. We are bringing that same thing to Starfield to grow into the ever-expanding universe that is Starfield.
And if I wanted to make my own creations, my own plushies maybe, how do I go about making a creation?
Well, so if you want to be a creator, you go and pick up the Creation Kit. The Creation Kit is exactly the same tool we use to make the game. You can get that right now today on Steam, download Creation Kit, and go from download to dungeon in 30 minutes. So
Beautiful.
get started.
And who can make creations?
Anybody can make creations. They can build them in Creation Kit and upload them to the Creation platform. It's one of the things we absolutely love, seeing people go from a hobbyist to a professional. That's how you get there.
Now, keep in mind, this is a paid service. To get the Creation Kit, you have to buy, I think it's like $7 Canadian. So yeah, it's not expensive to get the Creation Kit, but at the same time, it is kind of annoying that they locked it behind a paywall. Again, you're taking content and you're forcing people to have to ignore it because you're expecting more out of us. So, me as a creator, I'm a creative type. I like making YouTube videos. I like building stuff for my other games. I've done lots of modding and stuff before. So basically being told that, hey, if you want new cool modding stuff and new creations, you have to buy them from the creation store. Okay, not a big deal. I don't really want to spend money on that, so I'll just ignore that. But the fact that I actually have to spend money to be able to get into the Creation Kit to just become a creator, I think that's really going to put a dampening on the amount of people that they'll get into the Creation Kit, which I guess that's probably what they're intending, so they're not just flooded with a whole bunch of random items and stuff like that. But at the same time, you're also limiting who can be a creator based on your income, right? Yeah, $7 isn't very much, but $7 for some people is a lot more than it is for others, right? And who knows, your best creator might be that guy who just has or girl, who has a really big passion for creating new content and stuff like that, but they don't have a lot of money. Maybe they live in a country where that $7 Canadian or whatever it is, maybe that is like a week's worth of work for pay for them, right? So it just all depends on where you're coming from, and I'd like to see them offer that as a free service rather than it being paid to get into the Creation Kit.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but I think we have some of the verified creators in the office with us today.
We have some of these talented folks in the office right around the corner.
this is a big new empty playground.
It's such a big universe, but it's waiting to be filled with such creative and interesting ideas.
It's almost overwhelmingly unlimited.
The environment where we are working in is so inspiring. Everyone is so talented.
You know, I went in wanting to make suits. I woke up this morning writing a script for my quest.
And you know, there's already people bouncing around ideas. Like, people are already thinking big.
Okay. So right there, just like Buddy was saying, he just mentioned writing scripts for his quest. So it sounds like you're going to be able to do quest scripting and all that kind of stuff, creating your own quests inside the game. So sounds like we might have the ability to create those bounty hunter missions that we were talking about. That I can get behind. I'd much rather pay a custom creator who, you know, put a lot of passion and time and everything into building out their mission. I'd rather give that guy a couple of bucks than, you know, no offense, Bethesda, give you more money for a game that should already have all of this content in it already.
I think what excites me most about Starfield Creations is that we have so many new technologies and like places where to create new things. We have spaceships, we have new planets, people can create their own worlds in a completely different way.
I actually bought the special edition of Starfield, and that came with the art book. And very quickly I realized there were some pretty cool concepts that didn't make it into the game. So my number one objective at the moment is getting the Beast Hunter concept in.
Have you ever heard of a Dyson sphere? It's this big thing that surrounds the sun. Would you ever like to go inside one of those?
Oh, okay. So I love the way his brain is working. This is the kind of creativity that I'm looking forward to out of the creation station. Very exciting to see this kind of concept, you know, brought to life. I played a whole bunch of survival games and crafting games and stuff like that. And the Dyson Sphere is usually like one of those big things that you get to eventually, you know, later on. It's your main generation of power and all that kind of thing. So seeing that concept being brought into Starfield is pretty neat.
And fight a ghost ship, I might have you covered there.
I'd say we can probably say whatever we put out, it's going to enhance something that's already there. It's going to build upon something, but it's going to make it better. It's going to hopefully make it more fun.
Well, I'm actually working on a companion right now. She doesn't live in the future, she lives in the past, and she's a veteran of the colony wars. She's not kicked out of the Navy, but she's sort of pushed aside into the Vanguard, where you actually meet her during the Vanguard quest.
In a future creation, I do want to make a weapon that has an alternate fire mode. This is something I've been wanting to do even back in Fallout 4. I don't know, a magazine that fires standard bullets in the back and just with the press of a button, just swap to grenade launcher, fire your grenade, swap press button, swap to an assault rifle mode, and it adds that extra layer of utility.
All right. So basically like a Swiss Army gun, you know, Swiss Army knife for a gun, and a bunch of different options and stuff you can work with. Very cool idea. I like the concept. I think it could work, definitely.
Some of the new tech that I'm really excited to be working with is the spaceships. I can build homes that people can take with them. They don't have to come back to their home comes with them. So I'm really excited for space homes.
Space homes. All right. So we're actually like gonna get colony ships then, which that'd be cool. Hell yeah, that'd be cool. Be kind of neat to be able to, you know, drag all of your followers around with you rather than just, you know, the few that fit on your ship. That'd definitely be pretty cool.
With Starfield, there's 1,000 planets. We can fill that with anything. We can take a whole planet, put a full quest line where you stay on that planet the whole time, and essentially build a new game on one planet if we wanted to.
Creations could just explode. As soon as the creation kit comes out, you're going to see a ton more stuff coming out.
There is no limit in what people in the modding community are creating. It's going to be fantastic having like new planets just pop up randomly, or new dungeons and quests for people to explore.
I'm excited to see this game go from a Bethesda space RPG to possibly the most overtuned, overmodded space game out there.
That's all we have time for today. Thank you so much for joining us. Just remember, Trackers Alliance and Creations are available in Starfield right now. And the Creation Kit is also available for Starfield on Steam. And to celebrate further, For those of you that have the premium edition of Starfield, you'll receive 1,000 creation credits. So check that out. Until next time, see you in the stars.
Obviously, you know, the 1,000 credit thing, that's pretty much expected for Bethesda. They usually do that when they do the creation kit. First time you sign in or whatever, they usually give you a little bit of money to play around with on the creation store so that you can actually buy something. It's a good way to get people into it. Gives them an option to try things out. And, you know, if you end up buying something with those quote unquote free coins, you actually paid for them because you paid extra money for that edition. But you know, it's fun money. You throw a little bit at your players. You know, they buy a couple of things from the creation shop, and who knows, you might convince a couple of them to come back and buy a couple more missions or something like that. So I can dig it. It's par for the course for Bethesda. This is about it. All right. Creation menu now available in game, plus new content. Yeah, we checked all that out. New Trackers Alliance missions, bounty scanner system, ammunition crafting, melee weapon tiers and crafting, general performance and stability improvements. I really hope so. There are some planets and some areas of missions that are absolutely horrible. They are not optimized well. There have been a few times where, you know, I've hit 15, even 20 frames per second, which I've got a half decent PC, and normally I can play on high settings fairly easily. I can hit 60 frames, no problem most of the time, but it seems fine. Basically what we're expecting. Creation kit for Starfield now available for free on Steam. Oh, okay. Well, that's odd. I'll have to check that out afterwards. I was pretty sure I saw a $6.99 price tag on that, but I will double check, and I will more than happily admit that I was wrong if it is actually free. That would be kind of nice. It's kind of what I was hoping for when they announced it. So actually, I'm going to check that right now. Okay. So here it is right here. Here's our Starfield creation kit. For some reason, it's not actually in with like the Starfield game. So if you go into your library and you go to DLC, it's not actually like listed in here or really anywhere. Yeah, I don't see it anywhere on the page whatsoever. It's not in the store page either. There's really nothing. There you go. Buy Starfield Premium Edition, upgrade, Starfield Creation. So this is where I got the $6.99 from. Right, which I guess that's the minimum price for whatever it's 500 credits. Yeah, like they don't even have it in the more from Bethesda area. Like you'd think that they would put the creation kit right there, you know, or add it to the DLC section for free. But like it's not actually anywhere in here. You actually have to search creation kit in I see Starfield creation kit. Like you actually have to search it up. So I guess that's fine. It is free. Now that I'm looking at it, I'll take that one on the nose. I got no problem admitting that, yes, it is free. I was wrong about it costing money. But the fact that you actually have to like search and go and find it, and you can't just find it in your library, you lose a few points for that one, Bethesda. Add it to the library. Add it to the library page. And if you don't, 90% of people are not going to have any clue that it exists, or they'll end up like me and they'll see that $6.99 and it'll turn them off instantly, because that's what it did for me. The second I saw that it was going to cost me money to start creating, I was out. Like, no, sorry. I'm not paying you so that I can make content for you for your game that you should have already made. Like, if it's free, that's a totally different story. I can get behind that. So I will admit that I was wrong. It is not $7. It is actually free. You just have to search Starfield Creation Kit so that you can find it. So, all right. So the next thing that we're going to check out is the Starfield Shattered Space official trailer. I didn't get a chance to watch it, so I figured we'd check it out together, and I'll give you guys my thoughts on it. So this is the new DLC that's going to be coming out. Hopefully it's a lot of fun. So let's check it out. We chase dreams and embrace shadows. Anatole France.
We have received a distress call of unknown origin.
Spooky distress call.
There is no record of a star station in this orbit. Something is not right.
Nice low grab area. Cool. Serpents.
Coming aboard was a mistake.
Oh, look at those. Those are creepy.
We need to run.
Not bad so far.
Hold very.
Wow. Now that's a scene. All right. But that's getting a little more creative with their world builds. I can dig it.
Still, and choose your words carefully. They will determine how long you live. You trespass in the home of House Varun. Your fate will be decided by the Great Serpent.
Okay, so we did learn a little bit about Varun. If you played through the Starfield campaign, then you probably have a little bit of an idea of what they're all about. I won't spoil that for anybody who hasn't seen it yet, but the Varun are really, really cool. I'm excited to see them expanding a little bit more on the Varun. Yeah, I'm excited to see what they come up with. So it looks pretty interesting so far. Seems pretty space cultish kind of thing. I can always dig that. I like my sci-fi horror. I was a big fan of Aliens back in the day. All those movies, really, really good movies. So nice to see them kind of leaning into those roots.
Can you feel its embrace encircling your heart? Constricting until there is no more you. Only us.
Was that a ghost? Ooh. Okay. Spooky spaceman. Ooh. Any self-respecting sci-fi, especially horror fan, knows that anytime you see pods like this, it's never a good thing. There's always something dark behind it. So I'm interested to find out what this is all about. Shattered space. Cool. Neat. All right. Yeah, I can dig it. Yeah, so pretty exciting stuff. Starfield, Shattered Space, coming sometime this year. Should be pretty exciting. We got the new creation kit. We got all that fun stuff. Should be good. I'm excited to see what the modders and the creators can come up with. Again, a little disappointing to have it all locked behind a paywall, but yeah, what can you do? You know, data's expensive nowadays. It costs a lot of money to store all that stuff, so I kind of get it from that perspective. So hopefully Bethesda will do things like have like featured creators and all that kind of thing, you know, having certain items on sale, and you know, you'll be able to pick up those popular missions and all that kind of stuff for a little bit cheaper than you normally would. So all right, that's about everything for today. Thanks for stopping by and watching my initial reactions to the June update and Starfield Shattered Space, which is going to be coming out soon. We'll see you in the next one. Happy hunting, explorers.